Lucasfilm are being sued. Yeah, by a former producer. They fired her without warning, without justification, without reason, according to the lawsuit, a few weeks after starting on the Acolyte TV series for Disney+. This is pretty huge. You know, this is one in a long, long list of situations that Disney just seem to feel like they're above at all times. And now the chickens are coming home to roost. I think that's the phrase. Yeah, interesting stuff. Let's dive into this today, ladies and gents. Please do hit subscribe, turn the bell notifications on, and give the video a like. Lucasfilm is now sued for egregious axing of producer Karen McCarthy from Star Wars series The Acolyte. This is pretty huge. The last time they were sued, it all got settled, and that was with Scarlett Johansson. Technically Marvel, but still an arm of Disney. You know, this is technically Disney, but it's Lucasfilm. It's an arm of Disney. Pretty big stuff. Like, this isn't small. Whenever legal proceedings start taking place, that's pretty massive. It goes to show that, you know, mediation's broken down, any form of meetings are broken down. People don't start lawsuits frivolously. I mean, obviously they do, but it's like it costs people money to do this. And obviously there's no win, no fee, things like that, but this is still pretty huge deal. I just want to cover all bases, because whenever I omit things which I feel like are obvious, people go, but oh no, gosh, shut up. Anyway, so hopefully I've covered all bases. Anything I've admitted, it's because I feel like it's obvious, even though I thought all the other stuff was obvious. But anyway, pretty huge deal. Suffice to say, a pretty huge deal. And this is actually the same day it became public that Kevin Feige and Patty Jenkins' projects are done. You know, that Kevin Feige was basically cancelled from Star Wars. They've now been hit with a breach of contract lawsuit over the upcoming series The Acolyte. These things tend to always be pretty cut and dry. Like, it's you did breach the contract or you didn't breach the contract. Yes, you did. No, you didn't. Yes, you did. We can sue you. Tends to be pretty cut and dry. But anyway, and by the way, this isn't a small-time producer. Ballers, which is a pretty popular show, executive producer Karen McCarthy has taken the Kathleen Kennedy-run Disney division to court over being pink-slipped from the Leslie Headland created series last year after just a few weeks of work. It's not a small-time producer, and this does not look good for Kathleen Kennedy once more. This looks real bad for Kathleen Kennedy. Real bad. Not good. Not good at all. So anyway, here we have it, right? What makes this action all the more bitter and telling of the streamer competition for top talent is that UTA rep McCarthy was being actively courted by Apple at the same time to help run their eventual Colin Farrell starring PI series Sugar, according to the March 7th filing. So, not small. Not small. Not small. Glazer, Wheel, Fink Howard, and Avchen and Shapiro LLP, decided to throw her lot in with potential long-term commitment to Lucasfilm. So she wasn't able to do the Sugar series because it was a long-term commitment to Lucasfilm for this Acolyte series. McCarthy found herself in an employment Death Star and no cash to show for it at the sudden end, it seems. So, bottom line terms, as a result of its bad faith and wrongful termination, defendants deprived Miss McCarthy significant employment from which she would have earned millions of dollars over the life of the series. After setting up the corporate pursuit by Apple and Lucasfilm, and how McCarthy was the choice for the Acolyte, the jury-seeking complaint, so this is interesting, they're looking to go to jury, details how she got to work quickly on April 7th, 2022, and how a broad strokes agreement, full of UK hotel allowances and per diems, were sent to her agent David Morris on April 11th. In fact, in that email to Morris from Lucasfilm, VP of Physical Productions Candice Campos, the executive makes a point of saying how we really want to make this work. Then it all seems to go wrong fast. So, Allegedly, 2 weeks later, without explanation, without reason, without justification, Lucasfilm told McCarthy it wanted out of the deal. Reads the 12-page filing in Los Angeles Superior Court. By this time, the Apple offer was gone. Apple had to move on and found another executive producer for sugar. McCarthy now had neither deal. Deadline notes, as disappointing as that new situation was, it seems like McCarthy took it in the spirit of this being show business and not show friends, and made for the exit, expecting to be compensated. I mean, that makes sense. You've done some work. You would expect to be compensated. And then, by the way, this is a long lit. Disney tries to get out of paying people all the time. Like, this isn't new. They've been trying to get out of paying people royalties for, like, you know, the Disney Fox merger and all of the, the Lucasfilm ownership as well. Anyone who'd written things. They try to get out of paying stuff all the time. This is not new. But apparently that's where things appear to get messy, even by Tinseltown standards. So when McCarthy went to Lucasfilm and requested to be paid, Lucasfilm denied that they even had an agreement, even though they had made their offer containing all of the material deal points. 20, McCarthy accepted that offer. Oh, sorry, this is... so McCarthy accepted that offer, and 3, Lucasfilm had McCarthy start straight away, and Lucasfilm sent to McCarthy a memorandum of agreement memorialising the terms, including that McCarthy had already commenced work. God, how are they trying to deny this? In further disregard of McCarthy and the work she had already done, Lucasfilm offered to pay McCarthy $5,000 for a single day's work. Wow. I mean, that's good money, but not by Hollywood standards. McCarthy rejected Lucasfilm's anemic and insulting offer, and even though Lucasfilm acknowledged that McCarthy had, in fact, performed work for it, Lucasfilm never paid McCarthy for that work. McCarthy is therefore forced to bring this action to hold Lucasfilm accountable for its egregious breach of their agreement, its bad faith denial of that agreement, and for the statutory penalties McCarthy is entitled for its failure to pay her for her work. Who the fuck wants to work for Disney when this is what they do? Seriously? They're not... People are like, oh yeah, Disney, what a great name. Fuck working for them with this crap. With that earlier statement of the executive producer losing out on millions of dollars hanging in the air, McCarthy's attorneys Patty Glazer, Robert Allen and Matthew W. Bernstein are asking for a wide range of unspecified damages. Reps for Lucasfilm did not respond. Wow. Wow. Again, this isn't new. Disney have a history of not paying people. Disney have a history of not honouring things. This is not new. It's a pain in the arse, but it's not new. It baffles me why anyone wants to work for them. It really does. Sure, they're a big name, I guess, but... You know, Warner Brothers irreparably damaged their brand when they... Well, there was almost an irreparable damage to their brand when they moved everything to HBO Max. And then they struck a huge deal compensating everyone. That was the only way they could salvage their brand. The only way. The only way. They were going to lose the likes of Christopher Nolan. You know, people committed to that studio, they were going to lose. Anyway, let me know what you think down below. Love to hear it. Take care.